If you ever have crazy flyers that miss the bale completely high right from time to time and you have no idea where it's coming from, I might have your answer in this video. I'm going to show you one of my favorite drills that is very important to do from time to time, especially if you shoot an Olympic style recurve with a clicker here, because the clicker can actually hide a lot of form faults that you may not be aware of. This video idea comes by way of my Discord server, which one of my patrons actually posted a question asking why they had inexplicable high right misses from time to time, and I had one of two guesses. One of those is basically to make sure, especially if you're shooting a bow like this here with a plunger, that you don't put the arrow on top of the plunger and shoot it off of the top of the plunger. It's actually a very common and easy mistake to make, to basically, instead of having your arrow down on the rest like this, pushing against the plunger, to unknowingly and accidentally put it on top of the plunger and then shoot your shot. When that happens, generally speaking, you're going to miss the entire bale very high right. And he said that that was not a problem. So one of the other issues that actually was the problem is actually hidden when you use a clicker. Because what a clicker does is it holds the arrow down and against the arrow rest as well as the plunger and does not allow it to move off of that as you're drawing the bow back. And then what was actually happening was the arrow was flying off of the arrow rest once the clicker clicked because they were actually pinching the nock with their fingers when at full draw. But again, like I said, the clicker hid that issue from them. So one of the drills that I would absolutely suggest from time to time, especially if you shoot Olympic style recurve with a clicker, is to take that clicker off and actually draw the bow back without a clicker. What this will do is it will show you if you're pinching the arrow at all as you draw the bow back, potentially even as you let down. Because ideally, with an arrow on the rest and doing correct form and not touching the nock at least too much, you should be able to easily draw back the bow, anchor, go through your expansion process, and let down without that arrow falling off the rest. Mine just fell off towards the very end of my letdown because I moved a little bit too quickly, but I can demonstrate that again for you. I can pick up the bow, draw back, get to full draw, even talk to you, all while looking at the arrow and checking and making sure it's touching the plunger, letting down nice and slowly, and the arrow stayed on the arrow rest the entire time. Now, if I was pinching the arrow, or imparting any sort of torque onto the nock, or touching it too much, I could actually do something like this, where I go to pinch and the arrow wants to come off of the rest and it is no longer on it. Now if I do the same exact thing while using a clicker, and showing you this here, I can torque the heck out of it and you could see just as it clicked it started to come off of the rest. So if I do that again a little bit slower, torque it like crazy, it's staying on the rest, but as it clicks, see that? It just popped up immediately off of my arrow rest. And this is a very common thing that can happen and why it's important to do this drill. Just draw your bow back without a clicker from time to time and let down. Make sure that your finger placement is on the string correctly and make sure that you're not burying your finger spacer into that nock, pinching the nock, or somehow otherwise imparting some sort of torque or force onto the arrow. So if I draw the bow back again without inducing any sort of torque, come to full draw, pull until it clicks, and then let down, it'll stay on the rest until I bump it. Just a very simple thing to do without the clicker from time to time. And check and make sure you're not imparting any sort of torque or force onto that arrow. If you're interested in supporting this channel, you can join my Patreon page, which is attached to my Discord server. My YouTube membership page is also supposed to be attached to Discord, but I don't understand why it's not working correctly. People who are members are having a very hard time accessing the Discord server. Many people actually end up canceling their YouTube membership and going over to Discord because, for whatever reason, their accounts are not talking correctly. So I'm not quite sure the fix there. If anybody has any suggestions for that, please comment below. Maybe you can help others out, especially if you are a member of this channel and you help support this work that I do. That way these people can also enjoy the Discord server, because I find it to be a great little micro community within archery that really is actually quite beneficial to many different people out there that have questions and it's just a community for people to hang out as well. Hey, if you like this video, consider sharing it, please. It's the only way this channel grows. I don't operate any other social media at all, and I rely on you to share these videos to get the word out there. Also, please subscribe and hit that notification bell down below. That way you get notified when I upload new content. And do consider supporting this channel. There's many different links in the description below, and I can't thank my supporters enough. I wouldn't be able to produce this content, not at least to this level, without you. So thanks.